everybody, and welcome to the Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 141. I'm your host, Casey, and with me we have Slicer.
Hello.
Zero.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Kenchua.
Hi, I'm Kenchi618. It's been a weird day. Has anyone had one of those days before? Because I'm having one of those days today.
I woke up and I got on a podcast. That's a weird enough day for me.
It seems like what you do every week.
Seems like every other Thursday to me. Because we do it on Thursday? No one's going to get that because we release the episode on Saturdays. But still.
I'm pretty sure it's common knowledge we record on Thursdays by now. I mean...
And Guy's not here because he's doing something else and he said so last week. I can't remember what it was and I don't really care to remember. So instead we have...
Vacation or job training, I think?
Was it?
Yeah, I can remember.
Yeah,
he's busy with whatever. He's probably having fun blowing stuff up.
Something like that, yeah. So, as was supposed to happen last week, due to unforeseen circumstances, didn't happen. We actually have Andrew Joshua Talon, aka Talon, on this episode of the podcast.
For thousands of years I lay dormant. Who has disturbed my... Oh, hey guys.
Hi.
What's up?
Well, okay.
That was a very nice entrance.
Thanks.
So he starts with a Team 4-star reference. You're going to fit in just fine, Talon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, so as we always start, how we start, so we're starting with what we've been doing. So what have you been doing?
Guy's not
Kenchi.
here to go first.
Yeah.
He's not
Who
here to go
goes
first,
first?
so we'll go with Kenshi first.
Alright, so I'm going to start with the weirdest thing that happened today. I got a staff.
Whoa. Hold on.
What
You
kind
got
of
a
staff? Let's be clear.
Like a bow staff.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
That's my favorite weapon.
I thought that's what it was going to be.
my mind went instantly infection. So...
Oh.
I would have got...
So he's
I
not
would've
sick, but it means he's the most useless on the video game when we're time traveling.
Yeah.
God, I'm old. I was referencing Turtles Through Time. Wow. Sheesh. And I was doing the Mike Myers thing where I explain why the joke isn't funny. Ooh, this is going to be fun.
Edgy.
I know, isn't it?
It's a
Ugh.
90s reference. I got it. Yay.
Well, yeah, but it still makes me feel old.
Yeah, anyway. Kenshi, you have a staff for some reason.
Yeah, I have a staff because I decided I had one before and I didn't know what happened to it. So I bought another one because I wanted to train with it again.
I had a training bow staff once, and then I was practicing with it, and then it broke.
Oh.
So,
Well, I mean, that's a good thing, right? I mean, that's like... You've achieved goodness in your training or something?
I needed another
you're just
one.
being an idiot. Well, yeah.
well, it broke because I was being an idiot, so no,
Yeah,
it's not
fair.
good.
Yeah, if while training with your weapon you end up breaking your weapon, that's not a sign of how good you are.
Not
Well,
really.
a training version of your weapon. Well,
Yeah.
okay, for a bow staff, that's basically the same thing. Only
It's a
slightly
giant
cheaper
stick,
wood, I guess.
is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, I've actually
Mine had
done
foam on it.
quarterstaff stuff when I went to, I was helping with a club at my college that did medieval weapons, so did a little of that. It was actually kind of fun.
Yeah, so that's not the weird part of
I know.
this.
Okay. No.
The weird
Okay,
part of this is when the staff came and my dad saw it and he was like, "What is that?" And I pulled out, I was like, "It's a staff." His eyes lit up and he went and so I don't know where the hell he got it. He found my old staff and immediately began fighting me with the staff.
Yes!
Okay, well, that's awesome.
And that's how it's been all morning. Like every time I leave the room, I kind of have to leave with the staff because he has the other one with him and will attack me on sight with the staff.
Do you have to fight for the right to use the bathroom? What the hell?
No, you're saying that, but I kind of had to fight for the right to get pizza just now. That's why it took so long to get back. I left to get food before the podcast started, and I was gone longer than I thought because when I got down there and turned the microwave on, I had a challenge. So
This is the best day
yeah.
ever.
This is your training.
That's how my day's gone so far.
Maybe
It's
Tim,
like,
you should
it's
run
like when
labs.
me and my dad, we got those toy lightsabers, and then I had to be on the lookout because I would just walk around a corner. My dad would pop it with a lightsaber, and I would just defend myself.
That was kind of the thing with my dad too.
Yeah, except we have 6-foot staffs.
Yeah.
I'm amazed we haven't broken anything yet.
I didn't know they were that long. Yeah, that's really surprising.
Yeah, that's full-size bow staff, yeah.
Yep. So, since we have covered everyone's staves, yes, that's the plural,
Yeah,
what should we talk about next?
Well,
What Kenshi was doing for the week. So
Yeah.
what else have you done this weekend?
Sure.
Nothing else. That was really just the hallmark highlight moment of my week. Like,
Yeah, that makes sense. That absolutely makes
I mean,
sense.
nothing else
Yeah.
I could possibly tell you could match up to what I just said. So,
Same for me, so meh.
Okay, so, Slicer, what's your week been like? What have you been
I
doing?
got to go out LARPing again, so that was great.
Yay!
you should bring a 6-foot staff with you.
That's
we do have
that's not
spears
his thing.
that
He
are-
punches people in the face with a shield is his thing. So
No, God, no. I get punched in the face with shields. I hate shield charging and shield kicking and shit.
really, I thought that was your thing.
No, it's a stupid way to win. It's like I have no skill. I'm just gonna punch something. But
That's
yeah.
the only way to win.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it was the heat and the humidity or I'm just out of shape or both, but after like 3 rounds of just sparring with one person, I felt like I was going to die. I kept it up for the entire day, but damn, I was tired.
Yeah, that happens when you're out of practice.
Yeah. Hopefully that'll change. I'll be able to, even when school starts, I'll still be able to go to the Sunday practices, which would be nice.
Hey guys, you remember when Slice had time to be on the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to. I don't have any classes on Tuesday or Thursdays. I specifically did that.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Slicer.
Yeah.
Anything else, Slicer? Aside from
No,
you
that's
back to LARPing?
that's really it.
Okay.
That's about it, yeah.
Okay. Zero, you can go next.
I saw Suicide Squad twice.
How is it?
Because I was invited out by my coworkers the first time to go see the midnight release, and then I saw it again with my family. And that's a movie where the more you think about it, the worse it becomes, I guess.
Oh, that's bad. I didn't expect anything less, but
It's like if you go in and you just want mindless fun, like a good action movie, it's there. And there are some good moments between characters, like Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Margot Robbie, Will Smith. Those guys are good. But because you're introducing so many characters at the same time, a lot of characters get pushed to the side.
Yeah.
Like Killer Croc. He's basically been turned into the Groot of this, but really without a touching
bad
moment.
thing now? Oh, okay. I was gonna say. I mean,
It's more like he doesn't say much. When he does say something, it's actually pretty great, but you don't actually learn much about him at all.
He eats people. That's pretty much all you need to know.
is this going to be a series or is this a one-off thing?
It seems to be a one-off thing from what I've been looking at. Because I know Harley Quinn's getting her own movie or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I want this.
But Jared Leto's Joker. I've been thinking about this Joker for a while.
He does
and
look
I realized, yeah.
He always seemed, at least from the start, he always seemed like he was the Joker trying too hard,
And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of that.
He doesn't have the same charisma as the other Jokers. That's what's really been bothering me.
He's like
the other Jokers have a lot more presence and more than that, they have more fun.
Yeah, and I guess what came to mind when I first saw the Jared Leto Joker was bro. He's the broker, basically.
That's actually another word, so that doesn't work as well as I think you were hoping it would. But
There's a hype.
The broker.
okay. Well, it probably doesn't help that like most of the Joker scenes, as far as I'm aware, were cut, so he doesn't actually get any real screen time to be
he doesn't
charismatic.
get that much. He doesn't get that much screen time, but whenever he's on screen, he's kind of a snarly, growly Joker. It's really weird, and not exactly in a good way.
Like how?
Like it's
Wild man growly, or
like he has this weird like growl, and he like moves, and it's just kind of cringy.
I guess, yeah. Like no,
he's trying to come off as more intimidating, but Heath Ledger's Joker was much more intimidating without having to do that.
Yeah, again, it's like the tattoos, the teeth, the smile. It all smacks of just trying way too hard, you know. Though, I mean, it's like someone who would parody the Joker, you know, like going edgy for edgy's sake and, you know, turning it on itself. Like, yeah, I'm the Joker. I'm hot. I have tattoos. I'm a bad boy, and everyone loves me.
Yeah. It's
kinda
less
that.
It's less showmanship and more self-satisfaction, is the way it plays.
Yeah, which can work for the Joker, but you got to have other aspects of his character going too to make him more interesting.
It really didn't feel, I guess, particularly like the Joker. Was what really came off, you know. And he's only there for like a total of maybe 10-15 minutes, like throughout the entire movie, and all his stuff has to do with Harley. He's a side character, so.
Well,
it's odd actually, because considering how little he's in it, you'd think, well, the Joker shouldn't really be in there anyway. I don't think he did much Suicide Squad stuff.
No, he didn't. I mean, there are plenty
he's
of
there purely for the sake of Harley's character.
Yeah, it's an interesting kind of almost inversion. Like, I mean, with all the marketing, you assume he has a bigger thing, but, you know, trailers always lie. But it is interesting that, you know, Harley was introduced basically as a sidekick to the Joker, and she became beloved by the fans and the creators, and as a result, she expanded to multiple media. She's become kind of a cornerstone of the Batman universe now.
Yeah.
Almost as popular as the Joker himself, so yeah.
Indeed. And yet, in this way, they almost seem to, they diminish the Joker I mean, they try to, it's almost, would you say that they, I mean, like you said, that they have other characters downplayed to make other characters look good? Would you say that this is happening to the Joker for Harley?
Yeah, it's Harley and Deadshot are kind of the main characters in this.
Could you do me a favor?
As the Suicide Squad goes.
Could you run down the actual Suicide Squad for me? Because I don't actually know all of the members. Obviously, Killer Croc, Joker, Harley Quinn.
Killer Croc,
Deadshot.
Enchantress.
Joker isn't actually part of the Suicide Squad.
Oh. Okay.
But you have Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, Diablo. Diablo gets a bit more to the front than the other ones. Killer Croc. You have, gosh, I can't remember the name. Captain Flag. Or Flag.
Yeah,
he's
Colonel Rick Flag. That's
Rick Flag. Yeah, him and Katana as well.
Okay, I know most of those. Admittedly, most of them from the Arrowverse, but Diablo and Captain Flag are new ones to me. Yeah, okay, Rick Flag.
Yeah.
Captain Ric Flair are entirely new ones to me. I don't know these people.
Rick Flag is the soldier. He's in charge of supervising them, basically, so he's kind of their leader. And everything that has to do with his character is just plot.
Oh, okay.
Diablo has his own story. You get it kind of later into the film, but he has some development. He's a good character. He's the villain who doesn't want to do anymore because he's kind of more reformed. He's like, I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to use my powers because my power is to set people on fire.
Ah, okay.
As for Captain Boomerang, he's just a maniac that throws boomerangs and
Yeah,
has
that's
a
pretty
big
much what I know
unicorn in
about
his
him.
jacket.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
So,
Puffin
so
Face.
how was Harley's characterization in this? How was she? I mean, was
See-
it good, bad?
It was good, but the problem is that you can the editing in this movie is really weird.
Like, what kind of weird?
Like you'll
Kill
have
Bill
one
weird,
tone
or
in one
what?
scene, and then in the next scene it'll be a completely different tone. And you can tell it was like probably a byproduct of all the reshoots and everything.
Ah,
So at sometimes it feels like there's kind of two movies fighting against each other. One that's the lighter, more comedic one, and one that's actually serious and deals with these characters more seriously.
it does seem it's kind of a recurring thing we see with a lot of DC movies as of late. That a lot of the, that a lot of the stuff that would make the movie make sense is left on the cutting room floor and is released as deleted scenes. Basically, you have to buy the movie for the whole thing to make sense.
Yeah.
I was wondering about that actually, if the DVD was going to have like an extended or
The
director's
DVD
cut
is going to
at the
have a
end or
director's
something.
cut. Absolutely.
Yeah, because
I think a director's cut of this movie would be really good, is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
okay. But it
Because
kind of goes with the problems that the larger problems, I think, and in some media, in that one you have one or two characters who are greater than all the others at the expense of the story and the others, and two, you have too many conflicting visions going on in the product.
yeah.
But perhaps first we could just talk about about the character part. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I like Deadshot. There are some things about his character that conflict somewhat, but you know, he's a good character. Harley as well. You get a lot of flashbacks and stuff from her, more so than everyone else in the entire movie.
All right, but is it obnoxious? Basically, that's the question to ask.
I didn't feel like her characterization was obnoxious in any way. You know, I actually ended up liking her by the end of the movie. You know, and I still like her outside of the movie and, you know, in the original cartoon and everything. But
Of course, but it could have easily gone the other way, in that one of these characters becomes basically the creator's pet. Dun dun dun.
He's bringing
That's
that up
a
now
topic
because that's
for
a topic later. So.
Sorry.
If only we were done other weeks, that would have been an amazing segue. But we're not, unfortunately.
You keep trying these segues, but it's okay. It's okay. I just wanted to talk real quick. The general plot and main villain of this, I'm not going to really
Yep, remember 2 weeks rule.
say,
Right. No spoilers.
but I am going to say that it's generic, and the villain kind of is the main villain that they go against is. I feel like they bogged that person down by being the plot machine rather than being a character. And so it's better than Thor 2, but yeah, I feel like they could have done a lot more with that.
Okay. How's Waller?
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, Amanda Waller is amazing. One of the best characters in the entire movie.
It's good.
That's high praise. Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to give too much away about her, but she is actually more intimidating than the main villain in this, in a way. So,
Well, she kind of needs to be. That's kind of the point
Yeah,
of the
I mean,
character.
yeah,
whole point of
but
virtue.
she's good. I was very pleased with her.
Cool.
That's good to hear, at least.
Okay,
But
so...
you get to this problem where the main problem of this movie is this is not necessarily a job the Suicide Squad would do. This is something that you could just call the Flash or Batman for. And the Flash could probably solve this in like an afternoon. Maybe less.
Mm-hmm. It's better not to say what the Flash can and can't do, and that should have been done instead. Because the things Flash can and can't do, what he can't do is actually a very, very short list. So...
Yeah. I mean, you gotta...
I know, but the problem is you would normally have the Suicide Squad do, like, you know,
stuff
things
that
underneath
heroes
the table.
wouldn't do, basically.
Yeah, stuff that's underneath the table. That's not what happens in this. It's like, yeah, go be heroes. You Guardian of the Galaxiers.
Yeah, that's basically what DC's positioned this as. They wanted a Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's probably why all the recuts and everything happened, because they wanted it to be a happier film that is more on the emotional level of Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's not what the directors gave them.
Yeah, once again, DC is trying to emulate Marvel, but they're failing to understand why Marvel is succeeding in the first place.
That's not what Suicide Squad is anyway.
Yeah, it's not what it's supposed to be, but that can stop some suits at DC from deciding, this movie is happy and fun and made, lots of money. We have our own quirky characters. Let's make them do it. But then, of course, the people actually know the characters like, oh, don't do this. But nope. Gotta do it.
This all being said, I actually had fun during this movie. A lot more than I did in Batman vs. Superman, in which I walked out of that movie theater with just a pout on my face.
Well, I mean, we have so many different characters bouncing off each other. You can at least have some entertainment going for it. And that, in the end, is generally all that I require of a movie to be entertaining.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad, as long as you have a fun time watching it.
So if you're a fan of Suicide Squad, you might as well go see it. Otherwise, catch it on a discount night or something if you want to just see a good action movie, I guess.
It sounds like if you're a fan of Suicide Squad, you should wait for the DVD.
Yeah, probably. You should probably, yeah. Otherwise, just if you want to see an action movie and there's nothing else in theaters, I don't like. I'm criticizing it a lot, but I actually did enjoy it.
Well, yeah. I mean, there is no such thing as the perfect film, so you might as well poke out the problems with it. But if it's still fun and entertaining, even with the problems, you're willing to accept them and let them go.
This all being said, I am looking forward to Aquaman. Apparently, the director for Aquaman specializes in horror, so
I know
deep sea horrors.
And, Aquaman gets a lot of crap mainly because of the Super Friends. But in the comics, he
was a cool dude.
Frankly, I've always liked him.
He's kind of a badass, honestly.
Yeah. And they couldn't have picked a better person, Jason Momoa,
to
play him. I first saw him in Stargate Atlantis.
Yes.
Awesome badass. And, yeah, I didn't like the Conan movie he was in, but I thought he did a good job,
There was a Conan movie?
Yeah, there's a reboot.
I assume not movie. O'Brien, just to clarify.
No, that's a different genre. But I could see Jason Momoa playing him too.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
So that was, I saw that. Other than that, I've just been having to train the new guy at work. And he's actually taken to it pretty well. He's older than me. He's like 27. And he's had previous job experience, so it's just really easy because he actually knows how to do things like clean.
Yeah. I'm starting a new job myself. It's based on a job I really hated, doing gas work, gas safety and stuff. But it's a different kind of job, so hopefully it won't suck as bad. And thankfully, I'm not the oldest person doing this either. Because that's always
a young store. Like my store in general just doesn't have a single person over 30.
It's fast food. If you're over 30 and doing fast food, you live a very depressing
would be
life.
Other stores. That'd be other stores.
Well, it could be a manager. I mean, you could be a manager.
You could, yes. If you're still, working the till or doing kitchen stuff, like that is your prime job directive.
Yeah,
then
that's pretty,
you have some problems.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Okay.
So, yeah, I'm gonna just say that's my week, because otherwise I've just been playing the same games I've been playing, and just kind of like nothing, no special stories like I had the other week, which I had quite a few.
Yeah.
So
Okay. My week. So my week, I started with.
Checking your
Okay.
Steam page.
Yeah, I'm still gonna react to that, Talon. Yeah. Just said he needs to leave in an hour, so oh well.
Sorry.
That's fine. It happens sometimes.
Yeah, I know. We gotta. There are parts of the discussion, though. I would like to get done. That's all.
Yeah, okay.
all right.
So
Sorry if I'm being pushy, but
that's fine. So my week basically started with I said last week's podcast that I would be doing an interview with the Crossbrain, Zomniac, the Patient One, and CV12 Hornet, I think is his handle. That went pretty okay, I think. Had an interesting discussion of
Yeah, I listened
methods.
to part of the show with those guys.
I could listen to the Patient One read the fucking dictionary. That guy's voice is something
It's
special.
smooth.
It's lovely. I was just happy to just sit there and hear him talk, to be honest with you. It was really nice.
Did you ask him to repeat himself a lot?
No, I just let him go and say anything he wanted to say. I was all ears. It was just kind of magical.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah. Yeah, so that happened. That was fun and interesting to do. They have said they might be on future episodes if they have time for it and the desire to be on another one. So, if that happens, cool. Aside from that, I have spent the past couple of days watching stuff about No Man's Sky. I then bought No Man's Sky and pre-ordered it because I really want to play that game.
I thought about
So
it.
you grew more interested as you learned more, then, I hope?
Yeah.
Okay. It was kind of the opposite for me, actually. I was neutral, and then I was kind of eh. If it goes on sale, I'll get it. Otherwise, it's going to be a while.
It's
I've-
not the
yeah.
type of game you watch someone play, generally speaking.
okay. I'm really looking forward to We Happy Few. I'm glad it's out.
Oh yeah,
Just a
the
big fan.
early access stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, it's
going to
coming.
wait for that to become like a full release before I even...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I'd like it to
probably
be an
that-
actual game.
But I just love the idea of, well, BioShock is probably my favorite video game series ever. So I enjoy the idea of, taking a culture or something, making it extreme and giving it superpowers and see what happens in this new dystopia. It's fun that way, I guess.
That's, as far as I'm aware, not what happens in We Happy Few, but
Oh, well,
yeah,
I'll probably
it's
still like it
all
anyway.
about everyone. It's like alternate 1960s where everyone takes a pill that makes them
Happy to
joyful.
forget
It
all
is-
about their
It is
sorrows.
literally called joy, is the drug that they take.
Well, yeah, I've read the thing. It does seem, though, that the whole point of it is that you're one of the people who choose to stop taking the joy.
A downer,
Yeah,
as they call
you see
it.
the world for what it is. You're down.
Yeah. So it just seems like similar in some ways to BioShock, but not entirely, but kind of exploring it in a
You
new
take
way.
the joy so you can blend in with the
Yeah.
crazy happy people, and like there's a lot of potential there, which is why I don't want to play the early access or anything.
Yeah.
Because the full release will probably have an actual story mode.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a little bit like a cross between 7 Days to Die, Fable, and maybe a little bit of BioShock.
Okay.
So that's interesting, but I'm going to wait to see where they take it before I even think about buying it. So
Because I've seen a lot of good concepts just kind of crash.
Good. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, well, I'll just be the one to take the plunge and tell you guys how it is. How's that?
that works
And
for me.
hopefully it won't
Works.
reflect too badly on the finished one. Yeah.
Okay. Aside from that, I also watched Achievement Hunter play Worms WMD. We are going to have some fun with that game, lads. It's going to be good.
Good to hear.
Yeah, so if you haven't bought that, I suggest you do so at your earliest convenience.
I think
will
I
do
did.
so.
I don't know.
Remind me when this is over.
Yeah, because that looked like fantastic chaos, and the addition of vehicles and stuff I thought was going to be really shit, but it's actually kind of cool how they've implemented it, so I am looking forward to us playing that for the channel.
Okay,
That'd be great.
that does sound cool.
I think that might be it. I mean, I redid another chapter for Face Every Shadow, but that's it's a thing and boring. I think that's pretty much my week. So there we go.
All right.
Talon.
Okay. Yes.
I'd say what have you been doing for the week, but you've never been on before. So let's go with a bit of an intro for you instead, so people know where you come from, what you've been doing. So you currently, all I know that you're writing is Greyjoy a la Breve. I assume that's how it's pronounced.
Greyjoy a la Breve, but
Okay. I didn't know, and I couldn't find it.
You uncultured swine!
it's okay.
Really? From the person that hates Shakespeare? You call me uncultured?
I don't hate Shakespeare.
Arse biscuit. Okay, so
I like Shakespeare. Wait,
you
talking about?
last week.
I was one of
Fuck
the
off.
people who said I like Shakespeare. I sympathized with you, and you're like, thank
Oh right, yeah, that was
Zero.
everyone else.
Remember?
That was a shithead. Yeah, I remember now.
Gosh.
Okay,
Right.
fair
You
play.
uncultured swine!
We're the only
But,
ones that
yeah.
like Shakespeare. You should be on my side. Anyway, so Greyjoy, whatever you said, it is a story you've been posting on Space Battles. I recommended it on the podcast a few weeks ago. I think.
Thank you very much.
And I touted it as the Space Battles Game of Thrones self-insert that was the fun one.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I classify it. I mean it's not as neatly polished as a lot of the other self-inserts, but fun, and you know a little seriousness here and there helps balance out that fun, makes it better.
Yeah, because if you compare it to the other ones on Space Battles, where one of them, the self-insert, actually died, and the story kept going without him, which is very Game of Thrones, but not very fun.
No, and to be honest, there's going to be a backlash for all this stuff, but I basically just decided, one, I like writing fun stuff, and I wanted to have fun with the concept. Two, you know, basically Westeros has been in cultural stasis, cultural and technological stasis for at least 3 centuries. I mean, you know, and that just doesn't happen, even with it's just the climate, and, you know, even with dragons around, technological advancement can still continue. So why does it happen? That's why the uplift part is interesting to see what would happen if you start introducing modern ideas and stuff. And finally, well, I just like Alfie Allen, and I wanted to kind of do a slightly more complex self-insert. I mean, I try to play him more as though he is Theon, who just gets all these memories, basically from me, and this download into his head. So he's never quite sure if it's really him, if it's me, if it's nothing at all, and so on. So, you know, all these things combined were basically reason enough.
Okay, yeah, I mean, fun stuff is largely one of your major modes for writing, as far as I can tell. Like, one of the other big things that I read of yours was, I think, Biting the Hand That Feeds?
Oh, that
I think it was called. Yeah, the Harry Potter fiction where the Ministry abolished trade with the Muggle world, so they don't have food anymore.
The thing with Harry Potter is that because it was a kid series that was trying to transition to an adult series, but to do that you got to think about the logistics of the world, and J.K. Rowling didn't really think of that much. So
yeah, and so all the characters end up looking incredibly stupid, and so you end up with a comedy series about all the characters looking incredibly stupid.
Basically,
so
in that case, it's more just explore different facets of the characters, make them interesting, and you know, basically the basic simple fact is according to the rules of magic, which J.K. Rowling breaks constantly, but, you know, you got to work off something. You can't actually make food out of nothing, so they got to get food. And where else are they going to get it but from us, since we have so much excess due to how much farming we do. We do everything the hard way, and we do it on such a massive scale that they'd be fools to not just buy their food from us, for the most part.
Yeah.
They could have probably set something up with expansion charms and stuff, but yeah, I mean, it's so much easier just to, fuck it.
Yeah, well, that gets you storing the food and possibly growing the food, but it's all so complicated. And as we've seen repeatedly, wizards are extremely lazy.
Very.
Don't do too well with the complicated stuff.
No. So, of course, if you've got a Dark Lord on the rise who hates the non-magic world, what's one possible stupid solution that a political body could come to?
Yeah.
Appeasement.
Yes. So,
I recommended another story that took the same idea in a very different direction. That was last week, so yeah.
Yeah. But I like fun. I mean, I guess after reading several melodramatic, really depressing story concepts or just overly serious, I kind of just prefer taking story ideas that are terrible if you play them straight and super serious, but are fun if you just have some fun with them.
It's a nice change of pace, to be honest.
Yeah, there is probably a lot more miserable and dour fanfiction out there than there is stuff that's actually meant to make you laugh.
Yeah, and it doesn't stop me from having moments of seriousness or serious character, because in any comedy you got to have a bit of dramatic relief. You got to have it be serious at some points, but it doesn't have to be too serious. But you got to have those points to balance it out. And I tried that with Greyjoy a la Breve, basically.
Yeah. And I would keep going with all of the stuff that you've written, but you've written a hell of a lot of stuff. So
Yep.
We're probably going to leave it there and say if you want to check out more of Talon's stuff, it's Andrew Joshua Talon, separate words, on fanfiction.net, or I think it's Andrew J. Talon on Space Battles is your username, yeah?
Yeah, I keep the same pen name for most of my stuff, so just search and look around, except for that one guy on startedstory.net. I don't know who that guy is.
Someone stole the username, basically.
Well, it's a free username. Whatever. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. So, quickly turning it to what we're supposed to be doing for this topic is, what have you been doing for this week? I guess.
Between finding a new job and doing stuff for my old job, I've been working on plotting out stuff for Greyjoy a la Breve and flirting a bit with the idea of a couple of one-shots. See, another thing is that I get into these long stories, and I do like them, but I hate it when I lose interest in them and get bored. So I, do little side stories, or I get other people involved in them, to help out and keep the story going.
Yeah,
frankly, this is
half of maybe not half, but like a third of Greyjoy a la Breve is other people have written one-shots for you from other characters' perspectives and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't, it would probably take at least 5 years to get out one thing. And, considering how long it takes GRM to get his books out, nobody's got the time.
I could drop a meme there, but I'm not going to. So, you've been writing one-shots and planning for the other thing I'm never going to pronounce right ever again. Is that pretty much it that you've done for this week?
Pretty much. Planning out Volume 2 of Greyjoy a la Breve. It's, again, I'm trying to keep it still confined, but the thing is, the consequences of the Industrial Revolution in the North are now known to everybody because, now that the throne has fallen. So, with that in mind, basically every other nation on the planet is now familiar with this. And, of course, the White Walkers have noticed, that the humans are packing something a little more impressive than spears and swords. So it'll be kind of an exploration of that, and a bit of Euron Greyjoy learning how to combine magic with science. That's not going to end well.
So you're kind of in a very select club at this point of people that have actually gotten to the White Walkers. So kudos, I guess.
Yeah. Again,
does that not normally happen? I'm not really familiar with.
No, it doesn't happen, basically. Everyone's too busy playing political games and such things and dealing with the Civil War and stuff that no one actually bothers getting to the whole zombie apocalypse thing that's looming in the background.
Yeah,
in fairness, the books have barely gotten there yet, and so is the show. So
the show's getting close.
It's just my philosophy, though, is just, you can start in media res. I mean, what was the first Star Wars movie? It was Episode 4, technically. So
it was.
I mean,
Star
okay,
Wars,
it was,
and then later
it
became Episode 4.
Yeah, but you get my meaning with the chronology.
Yeah.
Besides, the more interesting part is basically seeing how these changes play out, because I mean, if you want to see all the grinding stuff to get to these levels, well, I could write that too, but it's easier to just kind of give you an idea in general with flashbacks and stuff and kind of go with that. But as long as you're telling an interesting story with it, you can get away with it. As long as you're being entertaining, as long as you're having characters grow and develop and stuff like that, it all works out. And I think it works out pretty well.
Yeah, as long as you're telling an interesting story and people aren't completely lost or anything.
Yeah. Besides, having to build up to that is what every other self-insert was doing, basically, and I just decided, that's been done enough. Also, that's the beauty of starting the story in the North. The North is, isolated. It's a backwater. Most people in the South don't pay any attention to it. I mean, they would notice extra trade, better trade items, things like that, little things like that. But for the most part, the North would have been much like pre-Civil War United States. It's an industrial powerhouse, but it's very subtle about it and keeps to itself.
Okay.
So when the war starts, that's when everyone takes up notice, basically. So that's kind of the crucial part, basically.
So we're going to move on to, we were going to do random index like we usually do, but apparently Talon needs to leave in like 45 minutes, I'm assuming.
Sorry.
Let's do the topic he suggested.
So we're going to just jump into topics, and yeah, okay, let's start with the topic that he suggested. That makes sense.
Okay.
So this topic is stories, fics specifically, that we prefer to the canon work. So the ones that are better and we might even recommend as things to read to introduce someone to the setting than the actual canon. So person that suggested it has stuff that we could use, maybe?
Of course. Now, I guess
I was
obvious...
actually reading something recently, but...
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I guess. Go ahead.
Sure. Gabriel Blessing's pretty much everything by Gabriel Blessing, honestly. I mean... Yeah. I was reading In Flight, and that one's interesting in that I don't think the author had read all of Fate Stay Night, because Shiro's abilities take a pretty steep jump there, chapter to chapter. That nitpick aside, it's way better than canon Sekirei, honestly.
That's not
most anything.
That's not a high bar, but you're not wrong either. So
no, most things are better than canon Sekirei. Like, as somebody who wrote a Sekirei crossover, I can attest to that.
In episode 34, I had watched Sekirei, and I went on like a good 20-minute diatribe of how it's the most shit thing ever. So, yeah, I have some pretty well-documented views on what Sekirei is. Terrible was pretty primary among them. So, yeah, that's probably one that I would agree with you on. Though
Hill of Swords for Zero no Tsukaima as well.
You could just say Familiar Zero, bro. It's okay. English isn't going to hurt you.
Whatever. That one. I trade them off, honestly. I can't seem to decide on one. But, yeah.
Yeah, I read that one too. I did not like it, but I blame that more on the source material being kind of rubbish anyway. So
Yeah, it's not great. Anyway, Talon, you had multiple, I believe.
Well, a couple. I'm just going to keep it simple
okay.
and then just explain my reasoning. There are a lot of authors who build incredible worlds, and that is what fan fiction writers take advantage of because the worlds are great. There are infinite possibilities. But oftentimes, the creators themselves fall short when it comes to writing continuations or in the actual world itself. I mean, plenty of complaints can be leveled at Naruto, Bleach, numerous other animes.
Yep, we've
Heck, you could
said
probably
most
make
of
the
them.
same.
So.
Yep, you'd probably make the argument for Dragon Ball Super. I mean, it's better than GT, but that's not really saying much.
I just dropped off Dragon Ball Super at one point.
Yeah, but I think
and then I just keep hearing more ridiculous things keep happening, and it just...
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll enjoy it when they abridge it. Oh, speaking
Probably,
of, Dragon Ball Abridged is probably one of those as well, just saying.
Oh, absolutely. Sword Art Online.
Sword Art Abridged is actually way better than Sword Art
it is.
Online.
Yeah, it is.
It's not just a funnier show, it's a superior show, and that's a very...
It's actually more compelling characters, yeah.
That's a fun thing, because oftentimes the original creators intend for something to be great, but the fans don't see it that way, and so they create their own fandom aspects that are in many ways superior. Heck, I suggest that the reason that the Deadpool movie, for instance, was so good, despite limited budget and Fox having no confidence in it, is because the producer and the main star was such a huge fan of Deadpool.
Yeah, they wanted to keep everything like the comics were, and it was fans putting all their love into it.
Yeah,
they gave a shit basically.
Yeah, and and because the fans, like, something has changed in them, this work has touched them in their lives or somewhere. That's why they have such passion for it. That's why they want to create it, and that's in some ways why they want to fix it. Now, obviously, there is one fandom that is infamous, thanks to the slow update rate of the actual story and, just the sheer popularity, for fics. And many of them were pretty terrible, I'll admit. But when it comes to Harry Potter, there are a couple things that I would take over the last 3 books, and I'm including The Cursed Child in that.
Yeah, that's pretty much where everyone kind of decided, wait, what the hell is going on? This... what? No, this is not how the characters think or work or anything like that.
No. And now, if you could explain why they're acting this way, then, and make that satisfying, then we can go with it. But ranging from Voldemort having trouble taking over a high school to his convoluted plans to the romance bouncing all over the place, it's just a mess. So there are a couple of stories that try to fix this, and oftentimes it involves time travel, sending someone back in time to fix things. It's a common thing for many stories like this.
It is it's called the Peggy Sue. It has its own name because it is that common.
Yeah, and admittedly, most of them, it's Sturgeon's Law. Most of them are going to suck, and most of them do suck. But since The Cursed Child is essentially trying to take on that concept and failing miserably, I thought I'd bring up 2 fan fictions that do the time travel restart thing very, very well for Harry Potter. First up is Oh God, Not Again by Sarah1281.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Basically, in this case, it was an accidental time travel story. And it from apparently a Harry Potter musical, though there are people who say that it stole from it, but no, it was actually published before a Harry Potter musical came out. But the basic idea is just Harry being sent back in time is in most typical things, but he's having a lot of fun with it. Rather than, say, get revenge on everyone who's ever done him wrong, which is an easy way for the story to become terrible, Harry just tries to make friends, even with Draco Malfoy. He bounces around. He acts like a normal kid, and actually everybody else acts like a normal kid, too. He doesn't become super special awesome. He just works on preventing Voldemort from coming back in the first place, rather than, leveling up constantly, doing the DBZ thing to pull out power-ups and have an epic final battle. It is a good finale. The unique thing about it is that Harry ends this in year 4, which is probably the smartest part of this story, or tries to make sure that this happens.
Doesn't overstay its welcome. Basically.
No, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's logical, it's fun, it's great, and the romance is, it's fairly minor because Harry's just too young for it. So, and you know what? I'm okay with that. So again, that's an example of how to do it right. I mean, because again, most of these fics, Harry goes back in time, he blows everything up, he gets superpowers, Dumbledore's a manipulative jackass and evil, and you can see how that's read into the canon, but most of that is just the result of bad writing. You're not really interpreting it in an intelligent way.
Bad writing on the part of Rowling, rather than...
Yeah, basically, but also on the fanfic writer's side, but
I would argue a lot more of it is down to Rowling's characterization being incredibly inconsistent, that
true.
It can only be put down to evil or incompetence. It's
true, but if you fill it all up with evil, then that's not very intelligent.
It's down to trying to make it consistent, is what I'd argue.
Fair enough. The other one I would recommend, The Dark Lord's Equal. Now, this is unique in that because it takes a lot of the tropes, like that are usually associated with really bad stories, like Harry having multiple paramours, him being a badass, and Ron being somewhat disregarded, and yet all of that works in this time travel story because it's written intelligently. And even explains away the problems with the canon because it's due to time travel issues. That's why it's such a confusing mess.
I like that you're linking complete stories, because I'm probably going to go on a reading binge, because I don't read a lot of Harry Potter fan fiction.
Yeah, I try to focus on finding complete stories. Usually those, as long as it's complete, that usually means that the story is worth checking out. But in any event, tropes, as is frequently said on TV tropes are not bad. You can have Ronald Weasley be useless. You can have Harry be a badass and, get a magical sword and have, two wives if you want, but you've got to do it right. You've got to do it well. It's like the difference between Star Trek II Wrath of Khan and Star Trek Into Darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of these kills off a main character, which is risky, but they do it right. The other kills off a main character
and brings him back 5 minutes later. Yeah.
Yeah, there's basically no point for Kirk to be dead in Into Darkness. Not at all. It's just exploiting the previous film. It's using its table scraps to milk for your emotion because it's reminding you of that. But that's not enough. You got to do more than just remind someone that happened. If you don't, it's just a reference, and that's a little more than what the scary movie variety movies do. Like, you remember that? Remember that thing? Yeah, remember that thing. Pay us to remember that.
Remember how good this film was?
Yes. And again,
the earlier scary movies were good, but
they weren't as.
They kept me entertained, at least.
Yeah, there's that.
But the first two, at least. Yeah.
But it's like. Well, there are some things that don't really make a good cultural translation sometimes. Yeah. Like, for instance, Avatar, The Last Airbender, is a good cultural translation of many tropes from anime into American animation, for instance, okay?
True, yes.
Yeah.
Because it's not just aping it. It tells its own story, but it uses them intelligently. You understand why those tropes exist in that culture in the first place.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of stories that don't really work out that well. Well, they can be hilarious, like Bollywood's take on the Terminator, because that was pretty awesome.
I mean, in fairness, Last Airbender does have a bit of a leg up in translating those particular conventions of anime, because it is... all of the characters are of Eastern cultures, except for the Inuits, but that's technicality.
Yeah,
so
but... Yeah.
You can... there is an argument to be made for why they can do the whole, we need to do battle for the sake of our honor and things like that. Because, that's the culture. It makes sense that they would do it that way. So you can ape that trope from anime, and it would make a hell of a lot of sense even without it being a trope from anime.
So, of course, why am I bringing this up? Well, because certain tropes do not, if they're not translated well, can bring the whole story apart. As in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. The time travel fixing, going back and fixing things is a staple of many Harry Potter fanfics, and the Cursed Child seems to be trying to do that, and it doesn't work, which is an interesting idea, that you make the future worse by meddling with it. Okay, that is not a bad idea for a story, but the execution is lacking.
Time travel was one of those things where it's hard to get right because there's so many factors and butterfly effects, and
and
executing it right is always just a nightmare.
Yes, but just like J.K. Rowling apparently never picked up a D&D book before she started writing Harry Potter. She never read anything about time travel either before she started writing this, or getting a ghost written.
Which is tragic, because you'd think she'd have watched at least one episode of Doctor Who. But...
yeah, you think she's in Britain. Why is she not? I mean, Matt Smith never saw Doctor Who before he took up the role, but still, I think
he managed to pull it off at least.
Yeah, because he watched it, he did his research for the part, he did his job, basically, in other words. He did his research. But again, main problem is, one, she breaks her own rules. Okay. Two, the characterizations make no sense. Everybody's either incompetent just incompetent or insane. The changes to the timeline make no sense. And while I liked the characterization, which is traditionally, of the non-Harry Potter group characters, that's traditionally Rowling's strong suit, at least in some points. You do have likable characters. It's just not enough to rescue everything. It's basically like a bad fanfic, which is the one thing that the original creator making should never make. They should not take ideas from the fandom and do them terribly.
It feels like J.K. Rowling bit off more than she could chew.
And again, the characters don't really grow except to become incompetent. I'm not going to spoil too much, but let's just say it seems like Dumbledore syndrome is catching up with everybody. Maybe it's a side effect of using magic.
You saying magic is like opiates, drugs? Is that
something like that?
Yeah.
That's
an interesting fic idea.
Well, it is a possibility that the reason that the wizards are kept isolated is not because they have to keep secret. It's because the Muggles are well aware of it, and they are keeping them isolated for everyone else's good.
Yeah, I could buy that, kind of.
That's getting into, Logan's Run kind of convoluted crap. So, I don't know. I'm not sure I'm good enough a writer to actually pull that off. Not without just saying screw it and going with giant robots in the last chapter.
You know what? That's a perfectly acceptable thing. Go with giant robots in the last chapter.
Well, again, it's the thing. The Wizarding Worlds could accomplish so much, could do so much, and they're content to content to live in a Ren fair, basically. They've never even been to the moon, apparently. No, we did that. Muggles did that. They could go anywhere in the universe, explore everything, add to the sum of human knowledge, but nope, not doing anything. And if that was intentional, then, that would be interesting. But it just showcases the greater problems with the story, basically. as a whole, and that's probably why so many people keep trying to fix it, because there is so much potential. It's good enough in so many ways to get this, but there are so many things you got to fix, and I think that's why it's got so much fandom attention, really.
Yeah, fuck magic. I'm a muggle. A big, strong muggle who built the Eiffel Tower out of muscle and brawn. That's the kind of muggle I am.
Yeah, what was even... Basically, okay, slight spoilers. Apparently the Dark Lord took over the Wizarding World by imperioing one guy, and then that guy imperioed everyone else, and boom, he won. That was it.
That sounds like something he should have thought of earlier.
Yeah. And honestly, the idea of him taking over, the world, given how incompetent he is just laughable. I mean, what's he going to do? Go up to the UN, say, I am the Dark Lord Voldemort, bow down before me. He's going to get shot 100 times. I don't care if he's immortal, but his body can be destroyed,
And especially if they decide to nuke the Wizarding World or something.
It's a bit overkill.
I know, but
there are a couple stories where that
you have that idea of how much magic can protect against bullets and radiation.
Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, if Harry Potter took place in, say, the 1800s, it would actually help a lot of the problems because, orphans are, of course, going to be treated horribly. So what the Dursleys did to Harry, who cares? Modern day? Yeah. Social services are going to take him away.
Very quickly, yes. Well, not very quickly. It happens sometimes, and it does take a while sometimes for people to notice, but people would fucking notice.
Yeah. Also, magic terrorists trying to cause mayhem and terror. I think the governments of the world are going to be asking their magical counterparts and saying, what the hell? Or at least researching it, figuring out how to counter it. I think the thing is, the one thing that I think would have been most interesting is if the masquerade, the barrier between the worlds just fell and magic became public knowledge. That's the real danger of a Dark Lord, because Voldemort comes in, he kills lots of people, he announces, oh yeah, I'm a wizard, I will rule you all. And guess what? Everybody with all the muggles are going to be like, we have guns, we have airplanes, we've got to kill every wizard on sight. Because that always felt like the bigger danger, that Voldemort is endangering himself and all of wizarding kind to extinction if he reveals it to the world, basically.
Yeah, I've seen that too, of the veil coming down.
Yeah. So, again, you can't explore every idea in the actual storyline, but it is, if you want to heighten the stakes, if you want to make it feel big and powerful, that is a pretty good way to make the stakes big. Why they keep the Wizarding World secret? What's going on in the veil, Having that be the threat is a lot more intimidating than some guy with no nose failing to take over a high school.
And you put it like that.
Anytime someone brings up the fact that he has no nose, it's really hard to take him seriously.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's the thing. There are so many good ideas because J.K. Rowling does have wonderful ideas, wonderful bits of genius. It's like a sine wave graph. It goes up, it goes down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down. And it's very uneven. That's the issue. That's the problem. And it's a shame because, again, I do love the world. I grew up with it. But I'm not going to call it genius when it's not. That's why fan fiction exists, perhaps.
Yeah, I did not love the world. I got into it way fucking late, and mostly through fan fiction, actually. So, I don't hold the canon works in high esteem.
But it is funny, again, that she's borrowing from the fandom that is often mocked and reviled, and yet what she comes out with is, well, it's actually pretty terrible compared to... Yep,
it's been said many a time that she has tried to do fan fiction and failed.
Yeah.
Which is a sad state of affairs for a professional author, but...
It is. But again, that's, in some ways, fandom exists for that. Fan writing is good for that because it lets you explore ideas that the creator can't or won't. And you got to take a grain of salt with that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it is just amusing when the fandom is producing more compelling stuff than the original. All right. Well, I've talked long enough about my views on that. How about you guys?
No kidding.
I was gonna mention a few stories that this is again stories we like more than their canon counterparts. I've mentioned this before on the podcast. It's been a long time. I kind of dropped off this story like halfway through what it currently is, and it stopped updating. But 5 Weeks at Freddy's is a lot better than 5 Nights at Freddy's.
Okay, if we're gonna talk about things that don't actually mean that much,
I know, but like what I like it because there's an actual book for the 5 Nights at Freddy's series that takes place in an alternate timeline. This one actually tries to kind of make a story out of the original game, and it succeeds. The characterized Mike is just a huge, once he realizes, I can lock him behind the door, he's just a huge a-hole, and he's just, flipping off the animatronics, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to read this now. That one statement won me over.
Yeah, me too.
At first he's scared, but then he just starts, getting real cocky. And so, it tries to go some weird places to try to explain the animatronics, and that's when I kind of dropped off it. But that whole point where it's still the 5 Nights and he's just kind of being a dick, it's great. Speaking of characters who are dicks, there's another fic that I like. It's called Decruited, and basically it takes place post Fire Emblem Awakening, which normally post Fire Emblem Awakening would be, everybody has a happy ending, or these people are dead. This is basically the main character has to fire all the people he recruited on his journey to, defeat the, Grima and everything. And I like this because it, your main character in Fire Emblem Awakening is an avatar character, but he also kind of has his own personality. This is let's just make it he's just kind of a dick. And it works out pretty well.
I'm seeing a running theme here. A little bit.
Yeah, there's a bit of a theme because I like stories where it's just the main character's a dick. It's great. I kind of was looking through other stories, just things that I would say I would like more than canon, and I found out that I haven't favorited a lot of stories because I don't tend to do that. So I was looking around. Really, a lot of the stories that I tend to like more than canon just tend to be more fun in a way. There's stories that I've seen that are really well written, for Persona, because I write Persona, and I've seen a lot of things. I know it's not a very popular opinion, but I do like the Fool's Tournament, and that's basically where the main characters. You basically have the main character from Persona 3, the male character, and the female character, who are supposed to be they never meet, but those characters are both in the same space, and they have to kind of compete for bonds because how your power works in Persona is the more social links you have, the more close you are to people, the more powerful you are.
Right.
And so it's the Fool's Tournament where they are competing, and they're both terrible people at first. But as they start to really connect, they grow to be better. And
if I remember right, they're actually terrible to each other. It's because fools don't mesh well. It's I can't remember the specifics of it, but they were compelled to be dicks to each other.
Yeah, and they're just kind of awful people, just in general. It's just one's better at hiding it.
I mean, if we're talking about
really
Persona
like
fics that are better than canon, I heard there's this Persona 4 fic called Face Every Shadow. It's supposed to be really fucking good. I hear the author's rewriting it. And, it's actually turning out way better than canon.
Boo. Boo. He's
don't shell your own shit.
See, I don't even want to say my stuff because I still feel like I need to rewrite it, and that's
still not going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one example I can just kind of think off the top of my head. There's a lot of Familiar of Zero crossovers, and I mean a lot. And there's a lot of them I would prefer over the canon, simply because the canon has a very poor main character, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And, well, I actually do have a story recommendation on that, which does have a different familiar, but it's not a crossover. It's an original character, but it's by my friend, the Sage of Toads, also known as the Arrow Senin. It's called Everything and Nothing, and I'm just going to let you guys take a look and give it a shot. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's a lot of fun. He also does a lot of deconstructions, rewrites of stuff, mostly 90s stuff like Sailor Moon, Harry Potter, and Hellsing crossed over.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some of this stuff before.
And Ranma and a Half. But yes, again, the rewrite does not have to be terrible. The reimagining does not have to be terrible. Deconstruction does not have to be terrible. It's all in how you approach the story, how you do it.
Just one example of a Familiar of Zero crossover. I liked this one stopped updating. I don't think it ever finished, and I don't think I ever actually finished reading it in its entirety. But for a good while, I liked The Blade of the Void, which is take Zero from the Mega Man Zero series at the very end and put him in, as the Familiar. And the story does some very interesting things. And one of the things I really like about fan fiction in particular is when you have a story that's really complete, like Familiar of Zero, you have a lot to work with in terms of what concepts you can play around with and what you can change in the setting. And this really delves into the main character a lot and their characterization. Other than those that I've said so far, I like Less Than Zero by Kenshi618.
I'm not sure that counts in this category, but okay.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, I probably would actually say Battle Left Unsaid by Kenshi618.
Yeah.
What?
Because it actually manages to maintain the conflicts and actually have more emotional impact for, let's say, a certain character that dies, because I don't want to spoil it. Whereas they pick someone that was kind of maybe important to the character in canon. The audience didn't feel it because they didn't see that relationship at all. But for Battle Left Unsaid, he picked a character that does matter a whole hell of a lot to the protagonist, to Naruto, obviously. And therefore, it has more of an impact on the character, it has more of an impact on the audience, because the audience also knows this character and, cares about how they end up a great deal. So
yeah.
I'm going to have to also agree with Casey on this one for that one. I actually really do like that a lot.
Yeah.
Why do you think you're on the podcast, man? We like your stories.
Yeah, let's stroke his ego some more. That's the last thing he needs.
don't worry, we have a space battler on the podcast now, so it's not going to last for long.
He's going to walk out of his room, and he's going to get beat by his dad holding a staff. So
I'm not going to lose. I never lost. I simply fought until I got what I needed and left.
Now I just have an image of you, holding a pizza in one hand and trying to fight him off with the staff with the other.
I couldn't do that. I needed both hands, but I was able to get enough space where I could run to the pizza. I did it in steps. I got it out of the microwave and set it down, and then kept fighting, and then went back and got the pizza and ran away around the back end of the house. The second time.
Best story ever.
Okay, Casey, Kenshi, you guys got anything for this?
I do, actually.
Go ahead, because nothing immediately comes to mind for me, beyond what I already said.
Casey has long been on about the vanilla storytelling of Fallout 3.
Oh god. Please don't
What?
bring me into this again.
I'm not going to. We're just
Okay.
going to leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a point, but the way that the story Wanderer's Diary was written makes me
Right.
look at Fallout 3 completely different. I can never look at it the same again.
Oh, damn, that's a really good one. I completely
Yeah.
forgot about that.
It is a really
Yeah.
good one. Yeah, you're not wrong.
It's basically it's like a playthrough where you're a complete psychopath with morals.
Ish. It's like a playthrough where you come to all of the different really stupid plot points of Fallout 3, like the vampires that you're supposed to sympathize with because they're an allegory of homosexuality, even though they're vampires, like literal vampires that kill people and drink their blood.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to sympathize with them and be nice to them. The protagonist in this story doesn't do that for obvious reasons.
No.
And
no,
it's great.
they get destroyed. They get melted hard.
Yeah, everyone in that quest dies because everyone in that quest kind of deserves to.
And everybody, not just the vampires, Arafu itself. Because fuck Arafu.
I think I was nice to those vampires because I didn't want to get eaten by them.
I was nice to the vampires because the game wanted me to be nice to the fucking vampires.
What kind of bonuses did you get doing that?
The shish kebab.
Yeah, they give you the shish kebab and they give you good karma. Yeah.
Of course, then again, you can also get the shish kebab by killing them all.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's in his
True.
it's in his dresser. You can just murder him and get his key. I mean, yeah.
Fucking Fallout 3. Fucking hate that. I'm good.
The passion.
I'm controlling myself.
Yes.
Okay, so apparently Talon has to get going, which is typing into the chat, which, just to let you know, pretty much any time you type something in the chat, I'm like 80% sure I'm going to end up just reading it. So,
Fair,
Yeah.
fair enough. Just all right. Well, who cares about the fourth wall anyway?
what fourth wall?
There
This
is no fourth wall.
This isn't that show.
That's what they want you to think.
We can hear you typing, so it's not like it's hidden. I mean,
Okay.
Well, in
Well,
fairness,
then.
I've been typing this whole time because I'm doing a link dump, but, you know, whatever.
Well, in that case, I thank you for having me on, and I'll leave you with one final thought. As long as you write something well with heart and it appeals to someone, you're doing okay. But if you write something you don't understand, chances are it's probably not going to end well. Unless it's a Chinese knockoff, in which case it might be just unintentionally hilarious.
this is true.
Or a Vietnamese knockoff. Those are even more.
Or the Bollywood version of Harry Potter, which I will admit I enjoyed a lot more.
Or to bring a cynical bent to this, if you're posting it on fanfiction, then you're just going to get praised to high heaven anyway.
Yeah.
Probably. But you can still come up with something culturally useful, something that could actually change someone's life. You never know. And I leave you with one final link or recommendation.
Okay.
Bit of
So
Teenage
long
Rebellion.
linked up. I have to
One
find
of
all
the
this
biggest
shit.
things, one of the biggest problems is that the characters in Harry Potter do not feel like teenagers. They do not feel like, kids, basically, a lot of the time. So here's a fic that I think really helps encapsulate that, and it has a bit of drama to it, too.
Oh, is this the one where Harry goes to like a Muggle club or something
Nope.
early on? No?
This is where Hermione and Harry go on her moped and smash mailboxes with a baseball bat.
Oh, yeah, I think I read this one, yeah.
Teenagers.
Read a
Yes.
bunch of stuff from this author, so.
Good. Anyway, I bid you adieu, and I look forward to the next time you have me on the show.
Cool
Everybody.
stuff.
See you, man.
See ya.
Bye
Later.
then. Alright, so we're going to keep going with that topic, or...
Another one bites dust.
If anyone has any specific stories, then yes, but I don't. It might just drag on if we can't think of anything.
Yeah,
We've
let's
been
just
going
keep
with this topic for a while, yeah.
Let's move on. We have a random A still.
We'll have to do the random A now because we're running up to about an hour and 20, and these tend to take a little bit of time. So, random A.
We had Code E. Was it the prequel to Mission E?
Sure,
So
I guess. So, I watched this one. Did everyone watch this one? I didn't actually check.
I watched this one.
Sisa?
I didn't have time, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. So, this one. Remember Red Day to Go?
Yeah.
Yes?
It's basically that. So
Yeah, pretty much.
that's basically the synopsis. So I'm going to go through basically all the points that I noticed. I'm going to start from the very, very beginning. What the fuck was with that opening?
Don't you love that guitar?
It was like the Charlie's Angels opening, like the
I
original
know,
one.
right?
Except there was a longbow in the final shot for some reason. I don't... What?
I mean, honestly, I was down with it. I liked it.
I mean,
like,
yeah,
I like
but
this
what?
guitar and just like it's great.
Yeah, okay. It
The whole
genuinely looked
soundtrack
like...
is just like, yeah, we bought an acoustic guitar, we might as well play it.
It looked like a crime procedural from the 70s with the panning shots of the city and stuff like that. With the
Yep.
yeah, okay. That's how the show starts,
It probably gets to that point.
I guess. And then it opens the show, and it turns out it happens in 2017, next year. It's like Persona 4. Everyone's going to be waiting for the date. It's amazing. And it being made in like 2005, I think, it naturally does some tech jumps for what they think technology is going to be like in 2017. It is astonishingly accurate.
Yeah, I was about to say, like...
We have smart boards, yeah.
Yeah, we have the kind of fancy, and you don't see them in most schools, but we have them, absolutely. Fucking Apple Pay for buses? I don't think that's a thing yet, but it could be by next year.
I mean, good for them. They called it.
Holograms? That's also a thing. I didn't think it was, but I looked it up, and yeah, that's a thing too.
Yeah.
They really fucking nailed it. That's the most remarkable thing about this show, is that they really fucking nailed the technological jump. Good for them. Aside from that, it's basically the same thing as Red Day to Go was. Very isolated girl, doesn't do well with technology, knows she doesn't do well with technology, which is probably the main difference.
Doesn't do well, that's an understatement. Why does she not do well with technology, Casey?
I don't know.
Because when she gets excited, shit blows up.
When she gets all like scared or freaked out,
Not quite.
Power goes out.
It doesn't blow up. It just makes
happy.
it go hinky, is what happens. So
You guys know Monsters Inc.
yeah,
Basically,
I didn't like it.
Boo. That's basically it. When she gets upset, the electricity just starts like malfunctioning and everything. When she's really happy, everything's powered up.
Her dad tries to EMP proof the basement so she doesn't fuck up his computer and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a lot of nice touches like that. It treats the whole thing a lot more like
this is
real
she's had for a
people.
long time.
Like this is real people dealing with this situation rather than Red Day to Go, which was all, ooh, let's be all cryptic and use a lot of analogies and pseudo-spiritual crap to try and explain all this without actually explaining any of it.
She had hand-drawn maps of her surroundings and places where not to go because I might fuck this stuff up if I walk too close to it.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's real people, real solutions kind of thing. It's very grounded for a show about a girl that, has super electricity powers, kind of.
And from what I've seen, it's not. It doesn't go in like that supernatural goddess type thing.
Sorry, I just realized I made a pun without meaning to. It's grounded. Get it? 'Cause electricity.
Yeah, I got it.
Good God, Casey, calm down.
It was
Good
good.
day.
I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
I went and I decided just to see, hey, where's this going to go? I watched part of the first episode of Mission E, and boy, is that a tone shift. Like, they're in, like, electronic type bodysuit type things and beating up people, and they're off saving people who have type E special abilities.
Well, it kind of feels like that might be where this is going to go eventually. But
Yeah.
I mean, I would know, but seeing as how nothing past episode 3 would work for me, I couldn't watch the rest of it.
Yeah,
It feels kind of like a sort of an X-Men type situation, which you have people who just have these powers because mutations or something.
yeah. I mean, I was into it for the first episode.
Yeah,
Definitely held my attention. So, I mean, I was
Not bad.
eating pizza while it was on, but still.
I'd say
while you're watching anime.
if I had more free time, I might actually watch it.
Yeah, it was solid.
I tried to watch it, but it wouldn't let me watch it.
I might actually watch more of it at some point.
Yeah.
So that's it's an X-Men type deal. If you want to watch that, that's fucking great. Well, it's not great, but it's good from what I saw. So
It's better than Red Data Girl.
yes.
All
Yes.
the yes.
So let's get ourselves a new anime.
Fine.
Oh, I forgot to talk about fucking Pokemon. Have you seen the new Alola form?
Oh, I've seen all of them. All the new Alola forms.
It's fucking Raichu.
There's a Marowak that's Ghost and Fire.
Okay, there's a Raichu that looks dumb as shit like a teddy bear.
It's on a surfboard. That's its tail.
And it's a teddy bear.
So what? I don't care about Raichu. I got a
Raichu's supposed to be
Marowak.
the cool refuge from shitty Pikachus, is what it's
I
supposed
got
to be.
Mimikyu now. That's all I need.
Fuck you.
I need the ghost Pokemon that lacks so much in self-confidence. They try to make themselves look like Pikachu because he's popular using 20-year-old Pikachu merchandise.
Actually, yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, but now I'm stuck with just shitty old hamster fake Pikachu.
And Marowak, Ghost and Fire. So it's literally, Ghost Rider.
So you have to learn completely new ways of using these fucking... Actually, it doesn't really matter because whatever.
They're
types-
effectively
type
new
moves or whatever.
Pokemon, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
not even the same
retyped
anymore.
and redesigned, first-gen Pokemon that have kind of evolved differently because they're in a new area. And the only way to get the old versions is to trade them into your game. That being said, you're not going to lose out on any Pokedex slots because, they're not the same. They use the same slots.
They've mixed actual evolution with shitty fake Pokemon evolution, and now it's just confusing for everyone involved. Okay. Also, apparently Ash might win the Kalos League. Yay.
I heard about that.
Yeah, he's in the final.
Apparently, Pokemon X and Y, the anime, is really good from what I've been hearing from my friends.
I watched I think it was the semi-final one where it was Mega Ninja Frog against Mega Sceptile. They spent a lot of money on that shit. Holy shit. It is kind of spectacular. I didn't care that it wasn't subtitled. It spoke to me anyway.
Well, now they got
You
that
see what I did
Pokemon
there?
Go to keep
Because-
funding it.
Because it's subtitled and it spoke.
Okay,
I thought
your
it was
puns are
funny.
actually getting worse.
I thought it was funny. Also,
Your puns are actually getting worse.
So for Pokemon X and Y, my only judging factor is, does Ash's voice make your ears bleed? If it
it's
doesn't,
only
I might
subtitled
give
so
it a
far,
try.
so depends on what you think of the Japanese voice actor.
Unfortunately, the dub kind of followed the sub as far as Pokemon anime goes. Ashes always sound terrible.
Okay. Like I say, I wasn't really paying attention when I watched that one episode because the voices weren't important. It was the holy crap,
Yeah.
amazing, beautiful animation.
But if the voice didn't actively annoy you, I think it's fine.
Yeah, probably.
Like to the point where you could just ignore it, that's fine.
Yeah. So 26.
New anime. Yeah, 26.
Come
Come on, Ken. Come on, Ken.
5.
Oh.
That's a D. Throw some D's on that bitch.
This could go in any direction.
Not
It's
any.
both.
It
It's
could
like a
go
lot
in-
of. It's like a lot of Detective Conan in this bitch.
Or Doraemon.
Or Digimon.
Or Digimon.
Or Dragon
One of
Ball.
the champions. Yeah.
Okay, there's like literally 4 things in this. There's Digimon, there's Doraemon, there's Dragon Ball, and there's fucking Da Capo, whatever that is.
Oh, Da Capo.
Yeah. And Detective Conan. And
There,
more
two
Digimon. Yeah, we can't do
Okay.
these. I need to actually do a fucking list at some point.
Alright,
I'm going to have to do it this
fine.
week.
Okie doke, we'll re-roll. And we get 7. 7. Lucky number 7.
7 is an F.
F is the best letter. It means success.
It means Fairy Tail or Fate Stay Night or Fate anything.
Or Final Fantasy.
I don't like this letter.
I don't like any of these letters. We really need to find a...
Or
that does better than
Freezing.
this.
Or Full Metal Panic. Or Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay, let me count it. So vamp for me.
See, you put pressure on me when you say shit like
Yeah.
that. Now I have to come up with something off the top of the dome.
So how about
We could end up with anything like Future Card Buddy Fight 100. Don't you want to watch Future Card Buddy Fight 100?
No, it sounds like the worst Yu-Gi-Oh knockoff in history.
That's right.
Like, it's like you're not even trying. It doesn't even look like that. From the looks of the damn shows, it doesn't look like anyone's even trying in this at any point. Like,
139.
okay.
This is the North Star, please.
Why you want to go OG like that? You know it's not going to be good when you've seen all the other stuff. 18.
Oh boy.
Well, it's not Fairy Tail. It might be Fate. 8.
It might be fate.
It's Fatal Fury 2, The New Battle.
So...
That's a film.
Guess not, then. Alright.
For those of you who like Fatal Fury, I'm sorry, but we're not going to see any Terry Bogard or Geese Howard.
Alright, read... Count this out. 75.
Oh, shit.
Count this shit out.
I wonder if it'll be Full Metal Panic.
As long as it's not something I haven't seen before. Or it's one of these multiple things that are there are multiples of.
It could
like
be.
Fate
It could
Stay.
be your new favorite, Fruits Basket.
Let's not do that.
70, 71. What was the number?
75.
75.
72, 73, 74, 75. Oh, shit.
What?
What is it? What is it? What is it?
We're watching a swimming anime.
Free?
Free.
Free?
It's technically it's free Eternal Summer, but I think free, whatever free is. we've
We'll
got
watch
to-
Damn it! This doesn't look appealing at all.
Isn't it your favorite? You get to look at shirtless guys swimming.
Yep.
God, I don't want to watch this. Son of a bitch. Really?
Yep.
Damn it. So which one is it so that I know for sure which
It's
I'm
it's gonna
watching?
be free, just free. Because that's probably the first one.
Well, shit.
Here's one comment on the page for free. I've read tons of yaoi from this anime, so I'll try it.
Yep, that one part though when they almost hot mama, I was so pissed when they didn't.
Oh God. No.
Strap in, folks, and strap on also, I guess.
I'm in paradise. Their bodies. Good lord. Am I in heaven?
Jesus. Is this anime a yaoi? I want to know it before I watch it.
I'm pretty sure it's just implied undertones
And then
and
you
lots
get
of glistening.
the people that are very offended that someone would imply that it might be. No, it isn't. It's not even gay. I don't know how people here misinterpret everything that happens making it gay.
Really? Really? Okay. You must have been raised in fucking whatever town.
Apparently
Portland took place in.
apparently there's an abridged series of this.
I'm not that surprised.
I would watch that because I'm pretty sure it'd be hilarious.
Okay, so we should watch the first episode of this and then the first episode of the abridged series.
Sure.
You can do that. I'll do it if I feel like it.
This is the
So
best
he-
pick that we've had ever. just for how great Ken's reactions are going to be. It's going to be wonderful.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see, I guess.
Remind me to make sure Talon and Serpent Guy know about this, that this is going to be the thing we have to watch.
They're not going to watch it.
They fucking better.
Guy's definitely not going to watch it. He doesn't watch anything he doesn't feel comfortable with.
He has standards.
No, he doesn't.
More standards than me.
So many things on the fucking link dump.
Well, it's your job. Get to it.
All of this is my job. I literally do everything, goddammit.
Yeah, so get going. Chop, chop.
Okay. I think we're at like an hour and 40, give or take. I
So
think
we had really like one topic, but
that happens more often than not. Either one or two, because
yeah, we were introducing a new person as well. So
yeah, that too. I mean, he had a lot to say, so you know that's change of pace from some people. Kenchua.
yeah.
Oh, you want me to rant? I can talk my ass off. Do you want me to just say anything about nothing? I can totally do that.
I have this feeling he
Couldn't hurt.
could for several hours, but I guess we need to move on to probably recommendations, unless we could probably fit one of those topics in quicker.
Oh, recommendations it is.
Did we get any questions?
I
think we
don't.
did. I think we did. That
Did
one.
we?
I will. I'll double check for you guys.
Okay, thank you. Meanwhile, I'll get the Patreon page up because that did go through this week.
Hooray. Oh.
Um.
Oh my god. Ugh.
So let's see. We have a question from Max Dole, who asks us, how would a writer effectively make a story that is made of multiple overlapping storylines? Example, Bakano and Duawa. Also made just some personal opinions, maybe just some personal opinions on how you guys would make it work well or attempting such stories. So a story of multiple overlapping storylines. That's most stories. Everything has a subplot.
Stories. Okay, that's going to go in the spare topics list.
We'll talk about that more in depth later. DFHA993 asked, when do you do the live stream, or is it always pre-recorded?
It is always pre-recorded in case I need to cut anything, or if
I was
certain
thinking
things
about
go
doing a
wrong
live
out of
stream.
our control.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing a live stream for one of the games I've bought recently. Sometime in the future.
Well,
I've not decided on when I'm going to do that, but keep your eyes open. You might see me
far
actually
as
doing
I'm
some live
aware,
streaming again.
I did set up the channel for live streaming on YouTube,
Yeah.
so you would be able to do that.
I set it up for you. And
Sure,
I
I
know
did
the
that.
password. Well, one of us did.
Do you mean Twitch, or do you mean YouTube?
The Twitch.
You set it up
Oh.
Twitch, yeah. I set it up for YouTube, so you could do it through that as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that on the YouTube one, but
It's probably about the same as doing it on Twitch, but you could look up a guide incredibly easy with this handy tool called Google.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you've heard of it, but it's pretty useful. You can search up pretty much anything and find anything that you want to find out. So you should probably try that and see whether you can find a useful handy-dandy guide.
you don't have to be such a dick about it.
Yeah, I do. Have you met me?
Yeah. Yeah. So other than that, Ghost put up a whole running commentary. I was
As
thinking
he
of
does.
replying to some aspects of that, but then I forgot. So I'm sorry, Ghost. Because he asked if my cousin's doing all right, and yeah, I guess he's doing okay. I don't know. It's probably really screwed up. We try to be as nice to him as possible, make everything comfortable for him. Other than that, you quit the third one on Fury? Well, I'm on the sixth one. And I'm stuck. Yeah. Okay. That's it for comments. Ethan also said something. He said, go look up a Slap on Titan, Abridged series.
Yeah, because we talked about the Abridged Attack on Titan. How there was one and now there is another one and stuff. Okay, recommendations.
Yeah. Bummer BCM, said something about Harry Potter fanfics and how what he likes about
when
Harry
you
Potter
say that's
fanfics
all that we have,
stuff.
and then you say, oh, and
Okay,
this guy
that's all
said
the
something, and then this guy also said something.
And
then I say, okay, let's
then
move on to recommendations, and then you say, oh, and also this guy said something. That doesn't mean that there aren't any more comments. That means that there's 3 more comments that you didn't mention.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being a dick.
Recommendations?
So I said before I had a bit of a ridiculous light novel I found.
You did, yes.
No, I've mentioned a lot of these in another world or something, and I've noticed they get more and more ridiculous the longer this fad with this fascination Japan has with it goes on and on and on. And I'm not sure if this is the ultimate, or I'm not sure if you can really surpass this, but this story is called I, Who Was Reborn as a Vending Machine, am loitering around in a labyrinth.
What?
The main character was a vending machine maniac. He loved all the Japanese vending machines and all the variety of things.
All of the Japanese vending machines?
That's right. He would travel all around the world looking for a new vending machine. This guy was a maniac for
you
it.
aren't picking up what I'm putting down.
Yes, all of them. He knew all of them because he liked each and every machine, and he died by getting crushed by a vending machine that fell off a truck.
Okay.
And then he wakes up in this other world, and he's a vending machine. And all he has is the automatic voice clips of "Welcome, too bad, and you won," and stuff like that. You won a free bottle and stuff. And yeah, it's a guy trying to, the more money he gets, the more he can unlock features and add new products to his vending machine body. Can't actually talk because everything he says comes out as an automated line, so he kind of has a system where welcome means yes and too bad means no. And it's a kind of a little bit of a ridiculous story, and I like it.
You don't say. You're talking about a parody. You realize.
So it's a guy that's a vending machine.
Yeah.
And so he somehow if you get enough points from people spending money at the vending machine, you can upgrade. And there's one that's 1 billion points. It's transform, and it's a fun little thing.
Okay. Anyone else? Recommendations?
No. I mean, how does he move?
He doesn't. There's a person who finds him, and they have a super strength ability, and they just carry him around.
Why?
Because he kind of is able to use his limited automated voice clips to kind of communicate, and that person he basically just gets really lucky, and he has to be carried around by somebody.
Okay.
Yeah. He's maybe if I can raise my stats, I guess. If I raise my strength and agility, can I wobble? Is that possible? No. Yeah, he can't really move. He has to be moved. He's just a vending machine. It's his ultimate dream. He's super happy with it.
Okay.
Any other recommendations?
No.
Slicer?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay.
That tops anything I could possibly offer.
He's a vending machine. And then that's the village has problems of we need something to protect against diseases. So he's oh wait, I could turn into a vending machine that dispenses condoms.
Okay.
For to protect against STDs and okay, that we need food. Well, I have all this packaged food and everything.
Zero, I'm gonna call an intervention for you. You need to stop reading these light novels because they're going like deeper and deeper into what the fuck territory.
Yeah, they are. But the more they are, the more I come around back to liking them. Just go as weird as possible. Yeah.
Okay.
I need help. Once again, that was, if you just type in vending machine light novel translation, I'm pretty sure it will come up on Google.
There you go. So if you want to read that, look up that, and I don't have to link it. So I'm going to take it out of the link dump because I'm not going to link it. Yay. Alright. My recommendation is New Game Plus by Duncan Idaho 2014. To clarify, that is not fucking the Gamer crossover, which is the reason I didn't look it up until Crossbrain recommended it. So it is a One Piece fic. It is a time travel fic. But instead of Luffy going back on his own, as is the case with just about any other time travel fic ever, the entire crew goes back to about 3 years before canon starts. So, yeah, the entire crew, about halfway through the New World, go back to before canon starts.
Let's see. And they're all like in their separate places where they were at this time.
Yep.
Okay then.
So, because the reason they went back in time was partially because they got their shit pushed in by the Marines, partially because Vegapunk decided, oh, look, people just stumbled into my lab. Well, they're as good as test subjects as any, and pushes a button. So, it's the most abrupt but entirely plausible and appropriate method to time travel ever. So they go back in time and they're like, okay, we got our shit pushed in, we need to actually do something about it. We're already like top tier as far as power levels go, so the only way to get stronger would be to get more people and get those people up to top power level. So they do that. And basically, instead of the entire story being about the main Straw Hat crew doing curb stomps, it's about recruiting other crews, bringing them into the Straw Hat Armada, and getting them to be stronger and doing all the fighting. Yeah. So, I think in the course of this entire fic, Django has been in more fights than Luffy has.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like Django.
Yeah. So it's all of the flunkies and nobodies of the East Blue get recruited for the Straw Hat Armada, and they are constantly being trained up by the Straw Hats to be awesome, basically.
Okay,
cool.
that sounds actually pretty interesting.
Yeah. It's nice that it's not just a straight up power fantasy of, oh, this person's going to be super awesome and stomp everyone and everyone's going to love him and be super cool to him and stuff like that. There's a purpose to it that you don't get in a lot of time travel fics, where they just kind of go through the motions and do everything the same again, except easier. So I kind of appreciate that. It was a good recommendation from them, and I am passing it on to the main podcast listeners' territory. Very good story. Worth reading.
Right.
I did read another one called Second Wind, which was similar, except it was just Luffy and Zoro that went. Only that one does just do it's all exactly the same, only slightly easier mode, and it's not very good.
Why'd you even write a fic like that?
Because you want to? Why does anyone write anything?
But if you write something that's just easier, doesn't that just kind of take away from the whole tension of everything?
A little bit, yeah.
The world is a wonderful, mysterious place.
Zero.
Yeah.
Stop being lame. Okay, I think
you can say that, but I won't.
I know. It's nice to hope though. So Patreon. Just in general, I'd like to thank everybody for... Oh, almost went into the outro. I'd like to thank everybody for donating... I'd like to thank everybody for donating on Patreon. In particular, obviously we go through all of these. If you donate $1 on Patreon, that's all we ask. Then we will give you a shout out at the end of the episode for the first episode of the month that the Patreon donations have gone through. So obviously the second one this month. So I'd like to thank Tempest Troper once again for his donation of $5. Thank you very much, Tempest Troper.
Thank you, Troper.
I would like to thank Korvek for his donation of $20. He donated $20 a long time ago for the sake of commission from Kenshi. He has since gotten it and has still continued to donate $20, and we very much appreciate it. Thank you, Korvek. And
does he want to appear on the podcast?
If he wants to, he's welcome to. Just drop us a message somewhere, comments. Fanfiction is probably also a good one. I do get back to them eventually.
He has my email, so he can ask me too. If
Absolutely, yeah. You're more likely to answer than I am. Because I suck. And Hugh08 has donated $20 once again. Thank you, Hugh08. We appreciate it. So, thank you to everyone that donated on Patreon. Like I was saying, we're not picky. If you want to donate something, anything to just support the podcast and all the stuff that we do, we would very much appreciate it. So, thank you to the people that donate.
Love you guys.
All right, I think we're pretty much wrapped up with everything there. So, anyone got any last minute things to say?
Snoochie Boochies?
I forgot to mention, I bought some Deadpool comics.
Why?
Because I got kicked out of my house because we were having cleaning ladies over, so I went shopping. I ended up stopping by Barnes and Nobles.
Well, why did Uncle Tom die? Poor Zero got kicked out of his house because Not Rich Zero has cleaning ladies to come over. Ooh.
Anyways.
I didn't even pick up on that. Thank you for calling him out on that, Ken. Well played.
So, I went and I got Deadpool versus Carnage, Deadpool versus Thanos, and Lady Deadpool, or rather Mrs. Deadpool, and the Howling Commandos. Which Mrs. Deadpool is She-Claw. She's like a succubus, because Deadpool, has a very odd family, and basically it was in the whole universe in which like a what if story if he died trying to save her from Dracula, because that's also a classic Deadpool character, Dracula, and basically her leading the Mummy and Frankenstein and a centaur with a symbiote and also diabetes. So yeah, that was fun. And Deadpool versus Carnage they're both nuts, and that's how Deadpool can win, is because his kind of crazy is stronger in a way.
Okay.
And Deadpool versus Thanos is one I'm looking forward to reading. I haven't read that yet. I also picked up a book that was like $8. I might have a recommendation once I get through that. So I didn't just buy comics. I was thinking of buying Suicide Squad comics, but I saw Deadpool.
So was it one book or 8 books?
One book?
Okay, just checking. I was a little confused.
No, I bought one book and then I bought like 3 comics.
Okay, Zero did not pick up what I was putting down. It's a theme
You see,
episode.
I don't want to pick it up.
You never want to pick it up.
Smells,
That's why you have a cleaning lady.
That's right.
brought it back. Okay. I'd like to thank everyone for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 141. If you would like to get in contact with us, you can do so through the YouTube channel through comments or our own personal profiles on fanfiction.net. Please donate on Patreon if you feel so inclined. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 141. Bye now.
Bye. Thrust.
See you guys.